Good afternoon to all. I'm Gandhiraj from Textile Association. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Toy Central Unit. Now, the Textile Association South India Unit, along with the Frontier.cool in Taiwan, is conducting this webinar on powering business growth with fabric digitization and 3D material creation. So now I welcome the entire team of Frontier and the participants. We have participants from government business entrepreneurs and the fabric manufacturers, traders, and textile technocrats from spinning to garment. And we have also faculties and students of the educational institutions. So we have all these participants over here now. So I welcome all of you. We hope this seminar, it is a very latest technology of e-sampling. So hope this seminar, this webinar will throw light on the subject. And I welcome our Mr. Sivakumar, the Secretary of Textile Association South India Unit, to welcome Mr. Vijay Gatmore and also Miss Anushka from Frontier. Mr. Sivakumar, please.
Thank you, Gandhiredji. Good evening, all. On behalf of, so am I audible?
Yeah, yes,
yes,
very much.
Yeah, good evening, all. On behalf of the Textile Association India South India Unit, I welcome Mr. Vijay Gatmore, who is the Representative Director of India of Frontier.cool Taiwan, and he is the Chairman of the Textile Association India Mumbai Unit. And so we welcome you, sir. And I want to introduce today's speaker, Anushka Venji, who is the Head of Business and Brand Partnerships, San Francisco, California, Frontier.cool, Taiwan. Anushka is a fashion designer, luxury brand expert, digital product creation enthusiast, very passionate about product, people, and the planet. With an educational background in business and fashion, Anushka has worked in the luxury goods industry for over 12 years. Equipped with a bachelor's in fashion from NIFT and a master's in fashion from the University in Creative Arts, UK. Anushka has worked with the clients including Nita Ambani, Katrina Kaif, Bipasha Basu, and Preeti Zinta. Anushka has also designed the costumes for Bollywood films, including Ekta Tiger, Meri Brother Ki Dulhan, Ajab Gazab Love, Deedana Dan, to name a few. So let us welcome Anushka. So first, I invite Mr. Vijay Gatmore to give a brief note about Frontier.cool.
Yeah.
Welcome, Vijayji.
Yeah, thank you, Shikumarji.
Yes.
Nice introduction. So good afternoon to all TAI South India Unit connected people, students, I think all fabric sourcing people, brands people. I'm sure that today's webinar will give you the new insight in the digital technology, which we use in textile industry and the fashion industry. Friends, why should you embrace fabric design with Frontier.cool? Frontier.cool provide a world's first AI-powered fabric design platform. It's a artificial intelligence-based power platform helping suppliers, manufacturers, and designers to digitize their fabric at scale. We save our customers time and money throughout their fabric digitalization journey. Choose Frontier and experience the future of the fabric selection, where efficiency, sustainability, and innovation converge to elevate your creative journey. Friends, we accelerate your fabric digitization using AI technology, grow your business with limitless inspiration, data capabilities, and seamless collaboration. So Frontier.cool is a happy Taiwan-based organization, and myself and Ma'am Anushka, she is working from California as a head uh, business and brand partnership from for Frontier.cool Taiwan. Over to Anushka. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. And I want to say a special thanks to the wonderful audience here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time to basically learn about our fantastic technology that is being adopted on a very rapid pace in the textile, fashion, and other applications like furniture, interior industry as well. And I want to say a very, very special thanks to Mr. Gandhiraj, as well as the entire team of Textile Association of India, South India Unit. Thank you for collaborating with us to bring this webinar to your audience. Should we get started with the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'd love to basically start by introducing a video that basically is a snapshot of what our proprietary AI technology can power you with so that you're in line. I know there are a lot of students here and you're all very interested in how the industry works. And this is cutting edge technology that is adopted by the top brands in the world, including Adidas, Under Armour, Gap, and many, many more. So I hope that this information and knowledge is going to basically really help you accelerate your career, but also for all the business owners, textile mills, we hope to bring this technology to your organizations to basically optimize your workflow and reduce basically any kind of extra time spent and increase efficiency. Okay, so I'm going to show you all a video now on how our technology works. You all can see my screen, right? Okay. So our Frontier technology basically is a very easy three-step process. All you need to do is place a physical swatch of a fabric under a regular office bed scanner. And within 3 to 5 minutes, you will basically create a digital twin of the fabric that you've scanned. There are many, many benefits of having a digital library. And of course, we will go through that in the presentation. And one of the immediate applications is 3D design. But we're also powered with sustainability data. And this basically helps you improve your cross-team internal and external collaboration and source end-to-end all through digital platforms. You can then take it to 3D softwares like Clo and Browseware and create whatever your imagination inspires. So this is pretty much what we will be covering today. And I'm very excited to show you how you can supercharge your business and step up your game with our fantastic, fast, reliable, and sustainable technology. Okay. So I wanted to thank y'all for the kind introduction. And as they mentioned earlier, I have over 15 years of experience as a designer. But as you all know, we've been doing things in the design and textile field in a very traditional way all these years. And ever since COVID, all of us have started working more efficiently and differently. And most importantly, we've all kind of adopted digital workflows so that we don't get interrupted by, things like COVID or geopolitical situations, etc. And Frontier is one of those perfect technologies that can really fit seamlessly into any current workflow and optimize it and make it quicker, faster, and accessible to your entire team. So I'd love to basically do a brief introduction of Frontier. And Frontier, our founders have basically worked in the textile industry with brands and mills over the last 15 years. And they have encountered a lot of problems, but I think the main problem that they encountered, which they really wanted to solve, was that there was a huge gap between how the brands in the industry, like I mentioned, Adidas, Under Armour, etc., were working, and how their partners, that were the textile mills, were basically selling to all these brands with the help of physical swatches. And the brands, say, for example, like Gap, they're based in San Francisco, where I live, but they have zero production and sourcing happening in America. They're basically traveling to Asia, to countries like India, China, Taiwan, etc., to source their materials. And when they basically are sourcing their materials, they're still using a very antiquated system of physical swatches and headers. And this basically doesn't really resonate with the workflow, which is rapidly changing in from the brand side in a global digital market. Okay. So just to let you all know, digitizing a single fabric from start to finish with specialized equipment takes about 90 minutes. However, that's a huge kind of drain on your time if you're like a large textile mill in India with thousands and thousands of fabrics. So if one fabric is going to take you 90 minutes to digitize, you can only imagine if you have a large selection of fabrics, it's going to take you forever, right? So what we basically set out to do at Frontier is create software that uses AI to achieve the same result of digitization in just 3 minutes. So, which means that you can very rapidly digitize your entire inventory and then just make it available in a digital library for your clients to source from the US, the UK, Asia, any part of the world without any limitations of geographical location, time zone, so on and so forth. Okay. So our company, Frontier, is a company that is committed towards simplifying material digitization through our cloud-based platform. And we aim to revolutionize design, sourcing, and collaboration. So this is the report developed by McKinsey and Company from last year. And it basically says that companies that embed AI into their business models could see an 118% cumulative increase in cash flow by 2030. However, those companies that are slower to invest in digital technology will lag behind by a relative 23%. Okay, so these are staggering numbers, and that's why it's really, really important for all of us to be abreast with the industry standards of technology. And this is important not just for the students, but also for the mills, so that they can be on the same level as the brands that they are working with. Okay. So why is material digitization important? We basically asked our community of textile mills and brands certain questions, right? We basically asked them what percentage of their material collection is being digitized in 3D? How are they digitizing materials, right? And we basically encountered a lot of very duplicate kind of feedback from a lot of our clients. They mentioned that basically digitizing their materials as of now is a very tedious process. Like I mentioned to you, the traditional equipment takes 90 minutes per fabric. So they're not really feeling very encouraged to digitize their entire inventory in their warehouses, etc. They basically mentioned to us that they're limited by costly hardware. And there is a complete lack of traceable information because sometimes, especially when it's bigger companies, they have many offices, say, for example, in China and India, Bangladesh, Nepal, etc. And the samples are all over the place. And whenever they need to send a sample to a client, there is a lack of traceable information, right? Which leads to a lot of like time wastage, low response time to the customers. And there's basically no single source of truth, right? Where you can just go find the fabric with the price, MOQ, composition, etc., and just share it easily with your client in real time. Okay, so these are some of the problems that we've heard our clients basically feedback, and that's why we have a very, very, I would say, effective solution. Okay. We've tried to illustrate over here a three-step, very easy do-it-yourself process. So what we do is pretty much the fabric mills on their end or an individual designer on their end would simply have to take a physical fabric swatch. The swatch can be a size of anywhere or of 5 or more inches, okay? And all you would have to do is place it in a standard office flatbed scanner. And this is the same scanner that you use to scan documents. So you don't need to invest in a new scanner. You don't need to invest in any training or special skill set. You just rely on our AI and machine learning powered technology. And we will basically read and scan your fabric and provide the texture maps, which will basically give you an accurate representation of how the fabric would behave on a 3D object. So we also provide physical properties like drape, bend, shear, linearity, etc., as well as the environmental impact measurements. So once you have a digital twin of the physical fabric that you scanned, it now makes it very easy for you to create a digital garment. As you see over here, these bomber jackets have been created digitally in 3D design software such as Browseware or Clo. And then clients like to basically float the digital product like the jacket on social media, get feedback from their clients in real time. And say, for example, the clients have any feedback in terms of, oh, I love the jacket, but I would prefer it in a blue color, for example. They save massive amounts of production time and cost, as well as marketing costs, so that only once it is liked by the client, they will then go into production. So this new way of doing things is aligned with on-demand manufacturing, so that we all know that the textile industry contributes a lot to climate change, as well as clothing ending up in landfills. So we don't want to kind of do the traditional process anymore. We want to be smarter, we want to be digitally savvy, and we want to be sustainable at the end of it, right? This technology fits completely into any digital workflow you currently have in place in your organization with the help of our integrated APIs. And we can connect it to any internal system that you currently have, like a product life cycle management system, material management system, or any other organization system that you're currently using. It will fit in seamlessly so that you don't have to kind of change your current workflow, okay? It is also compatible with ERP. So this is how we are empowering mills, brands, and designers through our simple scanning process of an office scanner to basically share their amazing fabrics in the digital library with their clients. This process is very scalable. The brands, the textile mills, or the individual designer basically has ownership of the IP, and it's super easily deployable with no special hardware and very easy onboarding, as no special skill set is required. So basically, after you scan the fabric, the physical fabric, the real fabric under the scanner, in 3 to 5 minutes, you will have the digital equivalent that drapes onto a 3D object, as you can see over here. And you can see the fall, the opacity, the sheerness, the linearity, anything that you would like to visualize in 3D, okay? So through our technology, all the problems that the mills were facing earlier have now been solved, like in 3D design. We basically provide a single source of truth so that all the digital materials live in the library and any member of your team can access it from any location in real time and share it with your client. So no more waiting for a physical sample to be delivered by DHL, for you to open up the box, for you to basically send it to the client, so on and so forth. As your clients basically approve the sample or they like the sample, you can then go ahead, if they want, to send the physical sample itself, right? This also provides you the opportunity of having an online showroom. And we do know now with online shopping and having a digital presence online, how much more business opportunity and revenue you can increase, okay? So instead of waiting for brands and their designers to travel all the way from overseas to come to your mill and source in person, you can completely digitize your entire inventory and have them source remotely from any country that they are located in, okay? And the other benefit of this digitization process is it basically facilitates proactivity over reactivity, so that when basically we have supply chain disruptors like COVID, etc., geopolitical challenges, wars, etc., we have all these disruptions happening, but a digital library basically will help you be proactive over reactive, so that you can basically not have any massive interruptions to your supply chain. And we aim to basically minimize that. So I'm sure y'all are at this point of time quite curious about what exactly fabric digitization is. So these are some of the feedback that we normally get. We usually get questions like, is it like taking photographs of your fabrics? It's not that simple, and it's not like Photoshop. It is basically a solution that is accurate and reliable and pretty much mimics the physical fabric in terms of the drape, the look. And we do get a lot of questions about the feel, right? So for the feel, the hand feel of the fabric, although we cannot eliminate physical samples 100%, if you were dealing with one particular kind of fabric sample, but you had many color variations in the same sample, all you would have to do is send one fabric sample to your client for them to estimate the actual feel. And then you can share all the color variations with them just digitally, okay? And like I said earlier, all you need is basically a regular office scanner, as you see on the screen over here, to basically convert your textiles into high quality digital assets. So just, sorry, I think somebody needs to go on mute. Okay. I just want to talk a little bit about the digital transformation in the industry, right? So since I'm basically based in San Francisco, it gives me a unique opportunity to basically like see in action the brand side as well as the textile side, right? As I mentioned earlier, I worked for over 15 years in India before I moved to the US. So I'm very familiar with how mills in India work, but now I get to basically see the brand side overseas as well. And I do feel like the digital transformation is the perfect bridge to connect the brands with the mills, okay? So there is a growing demand for digital product creation, which has increased the need of collaboration between brands and suppliers, which I mentioned earlier, right? And many global suppliers are new to the digitization process. So we have fantastic mills in India with the best cottons, the best silks. We know that we're a very textile-rich country, but a lot of our suppliers do not have information about this new technology that can really help them accelerate in terms of speed and scale. And we basically at Frontier help textile manufacturers, mills, and suppliers navigate and become proficient in this new paradigm of digital product creation. So some of the reasons why fashion as an industry is adopting digital workflows is sustainability. So like I mentioned earlier, shipping is a huge cost as well as involves a lot of time. So it helps you reduce shipping by being dependent just on the digital asset, and also reducing sample waste. So like I said, maybe some of your clients still want to see some physical samples, but that reduces by a massive amount. You can only share with them what is absolutely essential, and the rest of it, the digital equivalent, is sufficient for them to place orders. Okay. This also enables an effective and lean workflow. And you can basically respond to customer-driven trends more efficiently, right? So like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these sportswear brands are choosing to only create a digital garment like the jacket I showed you earlier and float it on social media. And based on what the customer feedback is received and the trends, they can basically manipulate either the color or the trim or the look to basically resonate more with their customers. And you can obviously approve designs and samples at a way higher speed and increase the overall agility in the supply chain. Later on, we'll basically cover the difference between the traditional sourcing method and the digital sourcing method, and you will see how you can cut down a cycle of 66 months to 3 days. Okay, so it's very, very effective. And of course, global collaboration, I mentioned this earlier, after COVID, we've all basically started working more with digital tools to enable and enhance global collaboration. And this basically leads to a decrease in decision-making time and promotes creativity and experimentation. I just wanted to speak specifically to the students at this point of time when it comes to creativity and experimentation. When you have a digital fabric that is accessible to you, the sky is really the limit of what you can create in 3D softwares. You don't have the normal restrictions of a certain yardage of fabric that you're working with. You can just work with one fabric swatch and have 10 iterations of your designs, okay? So that's when it's really, really helpful for creativity. And I just wanted to take 5 minutes to really explain what do we mean by a digital material, right? So a digital material, very simply put, is a bunch of layers stacked one over the other that is basically giving you a photorealistic view of how the fabric is going to behave when draped on a 3D object, okay? So you basically, the basic texture maps include surface texture, which basically would describe the bumps and the surface of the material. The base map is basically just the pure color information. So say, for example, the base map will show the color as red or green or yellow, or if it's a print, so on and so forth. Reflectivity is basically shown in a metal map. So say, for example, if you're dealing with a reflective material like satin, you're going to have high metalness map versus a cotton fabric. And transparency is basically communicated through the alpha map that describes how opaque or transparent a material is. So say, for example, an organza fabric versus a knit fabric would show different opacity, okay? So this is pretty much the texture maps that I described to you. Once these layers of the texture map or the PBR maps is what it's called, the photo-based realistic maps. PBR is photo-based renderings. Basically, once the maps are put together, you can basically visualize the fabric on any 3D garment. So what you see over here is a digitally created shirt where the client can visualize exactly if they bought a certain yardage of this material, how it would be as an end product in a shirt, for example. And in addition to our scanner, which will basically pick up and auto-populate all the fields of cotton density, content density, weight, which is GSM, cuttable width, it will also provide the Pantone shade so that the client is very, very clear on their end what color to expect from this sample, okay? So they will have the Pantone shade and the color code so that there is no kind of ambiguity when it comes to what color is being ordered or put into production, okay? And I will show you all a live demo of the platform, which enables you to toggle around with the opacity, change the color in real time, as well as get a 360 view of any fabric on a 3D model so that it is going to help you with your 3D visualization needs. And our technology is compatible with Browseware and Clo, which are the leading 3D design softwares, as well as Shimaseki. And we have two formats which are available for download called the U3M, which is compatible with Browseware, and GLTF that is compatible with Clo. And in this video over here, you will see in this digital equivalent that has been scanned from an actual physical fabric, we are demonstrating over here the fabric softness and the realism of how the fabric appears in a digital format for it to then be taken into a 3D software and visualized in garment form, okay? So I think this would be very interesting to the students once, like I mentioned earlier, once you have a digital library of fabrics, you can simply take in any fabric to your design software and create any iteration of design. You can create skirts or trousers or shirts and really explore and see what is the best choice before you actually order the material on the platform and produce the garment, okay? So we do get a lot of questions as to the accuracy of our AI and how close is the physical fabric to the digital fabric, okay? So as you can see over here, the rightmost fabric is an actual knit fabric draped on a cylinder. And what we are trying to display over here is the height from the tip of the fabric to the ground and the consistency of the same of the digital fabric draped on a digital cylinder and the tip to the ground over here. So we are basically trying to show a side-by-side comparison of the physical fabric to the digital fabric. So as you can see over here in the top view, on the cylinder, the physical fabric will create 10 number of flares, which is consistent with the digital twin, which is a complete digital simulation of how the real fabric would behave. So this is very, very helpful for designers so that they don't have to wait for the physical sample anymore. They can start and go ahead with their digital design before the physical fabric ever reaches their hands, okay? You can see the same in this fabric over here. This is the actual fabric draped on the cylinder and the digital fabric draped on a digital cylinder over here. And the same thing with the number of flares. And this is how it behaves in Frontier's AI. And then if you use the seamless plugin and import it into Clo, it also behaves very similarly so that you can basically use Clo for your 3D design. So sustainability is a very important cornerstone to Frontier, and it was one of the main reasons our founders wanted to come up with this technology. So we embrace today's growing expectation in the consumer market for sustainability to be a central value of brand identity. And that is why we introduced the Eco Impactor, which is designed to measure and provide data on greenhouse gases, emissions, water depletion, and land use of every meter of fabric that you see on the platform. through our partnership with Made to Flow, which is a German company, as well as these results are certified by the Swiss body Quantis, we are able to basically drive sustainable transformation within the industry. So what you can see on the screen over here is what I mentioned earlier. We will basically be displaying the greenhouse gases, the water depletion, and the land use of every meter of fabric, basically on the platform. And we'll also kind of give you a metric comparison as to what that means in real terms on the side over here. So this is really, really helpful for designers. For example, if you were sourcing 100% cotton fabric, and you can very clearly see there's a difference between cotton A and cotton B, and cotton A is showing way more sustainable kind of measurements. The designer has data-driven information to go with sample A over sample B. So we really want to make the choice very, very easy for the designers through this data right at the start of the production process. And here, I would love to basically show you all a huge difference of time and go-to-market speed when it comes to digital sampling versus physical sampling. So we'll start with the traditional physical sampling process today. So when brands are basically sourcing to create their new collection, say, for example, Spring-Summer 2024 or Autumn-Winter 2024, they basically start with the sourcing process, as we all know, right? And right now, the sourcing basically starts with physical swatches and hangers, right? And say, for example, a client like Adidas or Gap were sourcing for 2,000 materials. They would take anywhere between 3 to 5 months just for sourcing the materials and the mood board inspiration. And then another 3 months for actual fabric sampling, garment sampling, and production, okay? Now that we have a digital sampling process, because all the digital materials now live in a digital library, sourcing can happen in real time. About 2,000 materials can be sourced online within a mere 3 days, okay? And then through the fabric digitization process, they can basically start creating garments in 3D design in Clo or Optitex or Browseware, and then you have the finished digital garment within 3 days as well. So now you're basically seeing a massive reduction from 6 months to 6 days for this process, with all the data that the manufacturer then needs to move into production. So I hope you can basically see the exponential difference between the traditional way of sampling of 6 months all the way down to 6 days, okay? And I would love to talk a little bit about our newest feature that's just been released. It's called Fabric Select, and it's an amazing technology, especially for all those fabric expos and exhibitions that you go to. So as you can see over here, I have my colleague from Frontier at an exhibition, and she's basically showing a very, very interested client from Germany this beautiful selection of fabrics, right? But as you all know, whenever clients basically come and see the fabrics, it's very hard for them to retain which were their favorite fabrics, or they would come down with a piece of paper and basically write the style numbers, etc. We aim to basically make this application very, very easy, where all the client would have to do, instead of collecting all the physical swatches like this, she would simply have to scan the unique QR code that is linked to the fabric, and all the favorite fabrics are then very, very neatly sent to her in her email with the price, composition, MOQ, inventory. And the suppliers are able to see very, very easily through the data which were the best performing fabrics at the fabric exhibition, so that at the next exhibition, you probably carry more of those kind of fabrics based on your customer choice. So there are a lot of applications that are possible once you actually digitally digitize your fabrics. Once you have a digital equivalent of your physical fabrics, you no longer have to take like 10 suitcases full of physical hangers. You can really kind of show majority of your collection in an online forum, and maybe for the hand feel, etc., you carry a few samples, right? So you're making things very efficient for your team, you're making things very quick for your clients, and you're increasing business opportunities through all these different avenues. And I would basically love to show you one of the examples where we are able to kind of embed it on the website as well. And I can go back to that a little later, but I want to kind of discuss some metrics that matter. So because we are basically really able to reduce physical samples being sent to different locations, our clients have basically told us that they were able to reduce physical sampling by 83%. Their new business opportunities and new clients have increased by 50%, and efficiency has 10x'd, okay? On a single scanner, you can scan 150 pieces. That's with only one person scanning per week. In a month, you can scan 600 pieces, leading to saving 16 hours per week per employee. Okay, so this is massive savings. You can only imagine by digitizing your materials consistently, you can build a digital collection very quickly of 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 materials so that your clients can basically select very easily. And these are some of the brands that we're currently empowering. We are working with Adidas, Under Armour, Swisstex, JNB, Everest, Grantex, Texperts, and so many more clients, okay? And I'd basically love to share one of our very successful customer feedback stories. And this is from Swisstex Direct that basically works to supply high quality knit fabrics. They're based in LA in California, and their knit fabrics are so good that the NBA basketball team basically sources from there by Nike. And they also work with Adidas, Under Armour, New Balance. And because they now have a digital library, their fabrics can be sourced from anywhere. And they are continuously building up their virtual library of materials. This is a certificate that Swisstex has received from Under Armour for achieving a high level of advanced status for virtual material creation that they basically achieve using Frontier's technology. The same with JNB International, that is working with Gap's brand Athleta, as well as Helly Hansen. Their digital library has been viewed more than 5,000 times, really skyrocketing their business as well as revenue. And last but not least, I would love to show you a video of Texperts. I would love to show you a video of Texperts, which is an India-based mill that has many offices all over the world. They are also operating in China, Bangladesh, Nepal, Morocco, Montreal, etc. So just take a few minutes to play this video.
In a world where technology and tradition intertwine, Texperts, a leader in international textile sourcing, embarked on a transformative journey with Frontier.cool's Textile Cloud platform. With a global presence and a team of over 250 experts, Texperts specialize in functional, industrial, and technical textiles, handling everything from polyester high-tenacity yarn products to intricate fabric designs. But with success comes challenges. Managing a decentralized library of textiles across multiple countries, Texperts sought a solution to unify and digitize their vast material collection. Enter Frontier.cool's Textile Cloud, a groundbreaking platform accelerating fabric digitization and 3D fabric sourcing. With Textile Cloud, Texperts began an ambitious project to digitize over 5,000 materials. Through Textile Cloud, Texperts enhanced global collaboration. The platform's efficiency brought together teams from Mumbai to Montreal. With a commitment to sustainability, Textperts utilize Frontier.cool's eco-impactor, making conscious decisions based on environmental impact data, significantly reducing sampling waste and carbon emissions. Today, Textperts stand at the forefront of the digital textile revolution, empowered by Frontier.cool's Textile Cloud. It's a partnership weaving a digital future in textiles. Textperts and Frontier.cool, a collaboration that's redefining the fabric of the textile industry. To learn more about Textperts' journey and Frontier.cool's textile.
Yeah, that was a very interesting testimonial by Textperts. We can definitely talk more about their applications. They've really built their digital library very quickly and are currently on their way to digitize 5,000 materials, which they intend sharing on their website with their clients so that they can get the information to their clients very easily. We have basically almost reached the end of our presentation and love to basically iterate a few of the advantages before we move on to the live demo, and then we'll have a Q&A session to take any questions, okay? So if you all do have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and my colleague Tammy will be collecting them, and I will be sure to answer them at the end of the session. Okay, so just to basically recap, with the digital library and the swatches that you can basically see in the library, it is very easy to embrace a full spectrum AI-driven material digitization process that will help you organize all your materials and manage and enhance your digital material portfolio. It will help streamline your team workflow and implement a very straightforward, efficient workflow that saves time and costs, all while reducing your carbon footprint with fewer physical samples. It will enhance your teamwork by boosting internal and external collaboration. As I mentioned to you, everything lives on the cloud, so no requirement for downloading all the files, zipping them, sending it through to your clients through WeTransfer, etc. Everything lives on the cloud, and all you need to do to share materials with your client is share a single link with them, and they will have access to all your fabrics, even if they are not a current Frontier user. And this is obviously something that I'm very passionate about, committing to eco-consciousness standards. As you know, the Gen Z and millennial customers require traceability and sustainability to be a core brand value. And our technology, with our data and technology, we are able to support sustainability very effectively. And just a little bit about our pricing plans. We have different tiers, basically starting from 10 GB all the way to 10 terabytes, 1 user all the way to 50 users. And basically what you can see over here is a basic package, which is billed at 16,000 Indian rupees monthly. You would able to digitize 1,000 fabrics annually. And 3 team members can basically start using this technology. If you were to be a small or medium business, it would be 33,000 Indian rupees per month, which would basically allow you to create 2,500 digital materials in your library, and about 10 team members can basically use this. And Pro and Enterprise is obviously for the larger businesses. And I would basically like to stop here and collect all your questions in the chat. And parallelly, I'm going to basically show you all a live demo of the actual platform. Dr. Vijay, do you want to add anything to the presentation?
It's, I think, all coverage is being there now, including price and all. I think the live demo would have been the interesting for them. Yeah.
Okay, sure, sir.
I think, Anushka, I think education institutes are also with us today, like Kumar Guru College and the other college. So you can even highlight them about the subscription for education institute also, and what are the benefits we are giving to student community.
Yes, sir, I think for the educational institutes, since you have been talking to a lot of educational institutes, maybe you can just share the program that we currently have, and I'll set up my screen for the live demo.
I think we have already done a few programs to South India institution like PSG, Fashion Technology, Soma Textile, and I sent request to Kumaraguru College also, but luckily Kumaraguru College is participating today. We also did NIFT, Delhi, Jodhpur, and even Bhopal, that is Madhya Pradesh, and Amity Institution at Mumbai and I think Chhattisgarh. So Education Institute has a benefit in this area. The student can even work out this platform and they can take away the technology to the industry when they join. So working in the institution by subscribing Frontiers.com at education level, I think they can work out short project and understand how a digital technology can help them. Those who want to become the entrepreneurs and the startup activity in the designer area, for them, I think this platform will be very, very useful. So the institution has to subscribe and I think the student will have the free access to them. Yeah. So that's what the platform shows. Is over from my side.
Dr. Vijay, PhD also is joined.
Pardon, sir?
PhD students also is joined.
So there are maybe a textile technology student and there are the fashion technology student.
Textile technology students.
So for textile technology student, those who work in the textile fabric development, maybe the designing for the weaving design and all. So, and then those want to understand the sourcing of the fabric from certain client. So how the digitized platform can help them will also be, I think, covered in this presentation. So
Okay.
student can also enjoy this particular platform in their institution. Only they have to assess through certain media. So institution subscription is, I think, quite economical. We have a lot of subsidy on that. And we are making student completely free. Those who are assigned with that institute, they need not spend anything. So they can assess the connectivity from Frontier.cool through their institution and they work on some small project. So this is the way we want that students should take away this technology with them before they joining the industry. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, Anushka.
Okay, are you all able to see my screen, Dr. Vijay?
Yes.
Okay.
2023. Yeah.
Okay, so y'all can basically see Frontier's platform, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I just wanted to basically share with the audience that basically once you log in to Frontier's platform, like I mentioned to you all, every cloud, so you don't need to download anything. Your fabrics all live. We have over 17,621 fabrics in digital library currently. And we have a very, very simple filter system over here, where you can look for any fabric, either in the woven or the knit category, by simply searching the type of fabric that you're looking for. You can even filter your search down to content, pattern, like in solid versus floral, checks versus embroidery, so on and so forth. Color, you can select any color you like, finish, inventory, price, 3D material, as well as source from the country that of your choice, right? So say, for example, I was looking for a floral fabric over here, or like a floral cotton fabric. All I would have to look, put in the search is floral cotton, and all the suppliers that are basically onboarded on Frontier's platform, their entire collection will come up so that you can very, very quickly search for fabrics that basically match your requirements and your needs. Okay, so I'd love to basically start off with the dashboard. The dashboard.
I think there's some voice.
Audio problem. Anushka, some audio problem. We are not
happening
able to
on
hear
your
you.
form at any. Can you hear me now?
Now
Yes.
we are able to hear. Yes.
Okay, okay, sure.
Just go back to the discussion which a minute before you started, that we miss it. Yeah.
Is it about the library, the sourcing
No.
library?
About the library. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm just going back to the sourcing library.
Sourcing lab.
Okay, should I start from this screen, Dr. Vijay?
Yeah. Maybe
Please.
fine. You can quickly go
Okay,
through.
sure, sure. Okay, so like I mentioned to you all earlier, basically our suppliers from all across the world have uploaded their materials into our sourcing library. We currently have over 17,000 fabrics. And we have amazing suppliers from all over the world like Esmetex, Nincheng, Seaforce, Everest, so on and so forth. They're all working with the top brands, like I mentioned, Adidas, Nike, etc. And when a brand, basically like Nike or Adidas, is in a hurry and they want to look for a particular fabric, all they have to do is use the filter search, and you can search through type of fabric like woven or knit, content, pattern like solid, printed, floral, color, width, yarn density, finish, inventory, price, as well as country. Okay. So say, for example, you were looking for a fabric like striped fabric, or just striped. Okay. And when I basically search, it just works like Google search. I've made, I think, a spelling mistake here. I'll just use floral, for example. If I basically put it in the search, it would just bring up the floral fabrics like Google search, and you could very, very quickly basically see the entire collection. Say, for example, if I really like the print of this particular floral fabric, I want to know more about the fabric, like what is the composition, where is it located, so on and so forth. I will find all the information here, as well as the Pantone color that I shared with you all earlier. You can see that this is 1740 TCX claret red. So you can see all the Pantone shades come up over here as well. Okay. So I hope you're clear on the sourcing library now. And is the audio okay, Dr. Vijay? You can hear me audibly?
It's good. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so at any given point of time, your dashboard will basically show you an overview of all the assets on your platforms, the number of assets that you've created a 3D material from. So the difference between an asset and a 3D material is basically an asset is just a scanned swatch of your fabric, your actual physical fabric. And the 3D material is the digital twin of the fabric that you've scanned. Okay, I'll show you a live example. Collections will be the number of collections that you have, like I mentioned earlier, spring, summer, autumn, winter, so on and so forth. And shared collections is the amount of collections that you've chosen to share with your internal team members or your external clients or stakeholders, okay? You will also get to basically see the eco-impactor information, the keyword search, so on and so forth, okay? So management is a place where you can basically put in your organization details, country, phone number. You can select an organization type. You may be a brand or a supplier or a designer or any other category. You can basically see all your members over here, and you can even choose to invite any member. So say, for example, I want to invite Dr. Vijay. I'll just mention his email address over here, and he will able to join my organization. Okay. Yeah. So it's very simple to basically have people. You can see over here, Dr. Vijay has been added. It's very simple to basically get all these things done in a digital format. You don't need to rely on WhatsApp and email. You just open one centralized platform where all your fabrics live, and all your team members can basically have a conversation right here and not basically lose track of samples, etc. Okay. So when you basically go to the digital library, right? This is basically where you would upload all your assets, okay? So say, for example, I'm a designer, I've scanned in my fabrics, and this is like the collection of all my fabrics in my library. I can see them very clearly. Dr. Vijay as a team member will see it on his end as well. And basically we have two views over here. You have the grid view. the grid view, which will come up over here, and the list view. Okay, so the grid view is giving you a holistic visual kind of overview of all the assets that you have, the collection, the color, the feel, etc. You can see a lot of greens and darker colors over here. It's giving you a very autumn kind of feel versus like a summer feel. And you can also go to the list view, which will give you the detailed information about all your fabrics, right? So here you'll able to see the MOQ, content, weight, cuttable width, finish, so on and so forth, okay? So I just want to take a moment to show you how easy it is to scan or upload a material, okay? So all you would have to do is click on create. And you basically place it on your flatbed scanner, the same scanner that you use to scan your documents. The only thing that you need to do is make sure that your scanner is scanning at 600 DPI, which you need a higher resolution of the DPI so that the scan that is captured is of high quality for us to convert it into a 3D digital asset, okay? And then you basically just give a command to your scanner to send it to your pre-assigned Textile Cloud email address and wait for 3 to 5 minutes, okay? So I'll show you in real time right now how I am basically uploading an existing swatch, okay? So I have a swatch on my desktop that I'm going to upload. So all I would say is upload existing image and browse my desktop. Okay, so when I browse my desktop, you all can see this swatch over here, right? Dr. Vijay, you can see my desktop as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Great fabric swatch.
Yeah, the green fabric swatch. So this is just a basic standard fabric swatch that every organization or textile mill would have. And you basically just put it under the scanner at 600 DPI and scan it and upload it, okay? It's going to give you a command that is going to take 3 to 5 minutes to get uploaded. And you can view the upload process and status under progress status, okay? Over here under management, you'll be able to see it. Now, for this presentation, I have already pre-uploaded the same assets so that I can quickly show you all and you all don't have to wait for 3 minutes for it to get uploaded. But this is pretty much the process. The one that we just uploaded right now is in queue, and the same swatch, which I basically uploaded earlier, has been completed. Okay, so as and when you basically upload your swatches, you will see it in this menu over here. Now, just going back to the sample that we have uploaded. If you want to create a 3D material, so please remember what you see over here in the scan is the actual swatch, okay? I can even zoom in and show you that this is an actual knit fabric and you'll be able to see the weave, etc., okay? You can see the weave, right? This is an actual material. This is not a digital material, okay? So, and you basically say that you want to create a 3D fabric. And now you will able to visualize that actual material in a 3D format on a ball, on a t-shirt, on a shirt, on a dress, or any iteration that you prefer, okay? So right now you can see it on the ball, okay? It is a knit fabric and it is draped on a ball, okay? If I go to 2D view, you will able to see the actual maps that I mentioned. I mentioned base map that will show you the color, normal map that will show you the bumps, the roughness, which will show you the texture, and displacement will show you how it kind of behaves on a 3D object, okay? All these maps put together is giving you a photorealistic view of how the 3D material is going to behave on an object, okay? Now, these toggles over here will give you access to very easily play around with the opacity of, did mention to you all earlier, alpha map is about the transparency. So over here, say for example, your client wanted to see it more transparent or more opaque, you just toggle around with this. And if you want to change the scale, you can toggle around with this. And if you wanted to change the color, you have the Pantone shade card that you can either kind of manipulate, like say, I want to see it in pink, or I want to see it in blue or purple. You can do all that right here, okay? So say, for example, the knit fabric has been selected by your client, but they want to change the color or manipulate the color. You can very easily show them color variations over here. They can also visualize the same knit fabric in a garment format. So maybe they want to see it in a shirt or maybe a knit dress. And once you're completed with any of these fabric manipulations that you want to do, you can basically share this with your client by simply taking a screenshot, which will get saved to your laptop or desktop, and you share it with your client. Okay. A workspace is basically the ability to create collections. Okay, so I have pre-made some collections over here called spring, summer, fall, winter, etc. And it's very easy to create a collection. All you would do is create a new collection. I can just say tie webinar demo here and say create, and say, for example, I wanted to add any assets. I just add assets that I want to showcase to this particular audience. So I'll select the fabric that we just uploaded, maybe this blue material, this one, and say add. Okay. Once I've basically added it to the tie webinar demo, it's very, very easy for me to just share this collection either by adding people. So I can share it right away by using an email address. So I'm going to share it with Dr. Vijay right away. No need to basically download and send an email, etc. Okay, you can share right away with your clients. Okay. Or if you have a large group of fabrics, like maybe 10, 20, 30, all you have to do is basically save them in one particular collection and copy link and copy paste it in your email or WhatsApp or any media and share it. You can also share this on social media. And like I mentioned to you earlier, we can also embed this on your company website so that you have an online product catalog. We also have a very cool feature of mood board, which allows a visual cue from the brand. So many times brands will tell us, for our spring summer 2023 mood board, we are basically looking at blues and beiges and a nautical theme, etc. Do you have any fabrics or prints that match this theme, right? So over here, it is very, very easy for you to communicate with your team members and recommend fabrics that match the theme of the brand that you're working with, right? So this is very easy for you to basically say, oh, we have similar prints, like, why don't you take a look at these 4 fabrics, okay? Now, the very fascinating thing about our technology is that all the conversations about a particular fabric live right on the fabric. So if you go back to the asset library, you'll see these little bubbles over here, which is actually with the conversation about the fabric. So this one conversation over here, I'll just open it. All information regarding this fabric communication lives over here. So James wants to know, okay, great, I love this leaf print, but what other colors does it come in? So let's use this for a men's polo. So you can very, very easily add a communication message here that says, this print, this leaf print comes in blue as well. Say add. Okay, so basically you don't need to refer to different media, etc. Your team members don't need to communicate about each fabric with each other. All the communication lives here. So you can quickly refer to it and basically see what's the status of that particular fabric, what's happening with it, who are the team members dealing with it, which client is interested in it. So it's very, very data rich and makes your life very, very simple. Okay. And the last feature that I'd like to show you is Threadboard. And Threadboard pretty much works like Trello, and it works within all the different kind of processes of sourcing, development, production, etc. And like I showed you earlier, it will have all the communication pertaining to that particular fabric on the fabric itself. James over here wants to know what is the construction of this fabric. And currently, it is in the process of priced and available for sampling. Once it is basically ready for sampling and then moves on to the sample yardage process, you can simply toggle it from left to right. So your entire team now knows that the status of this fabric has moved from priced and available for sampling to actual sampling, and then to sample yardage received, and then to bulk orders, so on and so forth. Okay. And I think the last thing that I want to show you all over here is that the fabric that we just uploaded has been registered. If you see the progress status, it should say completed. Just give it a second. It should say completed. So you see that it's been completed over here. And all you would have to do to generate the 3D asset is click on these three options and say create 3D material. Now it will basically get created in 3D, and you also have the ability to edit the material and add any further information that you want to about the particular fabric. So all you need to do is basically click on the edit button, and you will see all the fields down here that says description, weight. The ones with the asterisks are mandatory. Without these fields, you will not able to generate the 3D material. So please make sure that these four, these four, 1, 2, 3, 4 fields are filled. Okay, you cannot leave them blank. So cuttable width, I know from the swatch that the cuttable width of the green knit swatch is 58. And you can obviously put the type of finish, yarn size, density. Those are all optional, as well as keywords to basically make it to search the fabric very easily, like I showed you earlier in the filter search. And you can also put any inventory details, pricing details, and just save it. Okay. I'd love to give you the opportunity to.
I request the group to mute.
Okay. I would love to basically now address the questions of the audience, and I'd love to basically hear your thoughts on the technology and find out if I can basically help you all with any information. Tammy, are you able to share the questions? You can read them aloud as well. I can answer them, or how would you like to basically address the questions?
I'm already gathering the questions on the list, so you can read the list and start to answer questions one by one.
Okay.
We are unable to hear you, Tommy.
Tabby, your video is off, I think. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay, sir. She's shared the questions with me.
Yeah. I think she I think.
I have it. I have it over here.
Okay, good.
We are also we can also have few of the audience to talk directly after the question session. Maybe one or two we can call them, bring them online, and they can discuss also.
No
Yes,
problem.
yes, sir. Please let us know any audience member if you all want to basically present your questions live. We are happy to take them. Okay. In the meantime,
raise the hand. They can raise the hand. I can bring them inside.
Okay. Okay. So any audience member that wants to ask a live question, kindly raise your hand in the options below, and Mr. Gandhi Raj will let you in. I think we have Damodaran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Damodaran.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for your interesting presentation. So we are in the on-demand apparel space.
Okay.
So some of the questions which I have basically on the bending force of the fabric or yarn, which varies depends on the fiber and it depends on the yarn structure and all. So this is a bit critical for on draping a product on a 3D version. So
Yes.
how is it Frontier is going to address this difference?
So Damataran, basically our AI works on reinforced learning, okay? So with all the brands that we work with, they have obviously similar concerns. They obviously want to embrace technology, but at the same time, they want to be accurate so that it basically aligns with their clients or the manufacturing process, etc., right? Because if there's inaccurate information, it might lead to like a critical error. So what we do is to address bend or surface texture or any other concern, we provide a PVC test, the cylinder test that I showed you earlier, where we are able to provide a side-by-side comparison of your actual fabric. So say, for example, before you start digitizing thousands and thousands of fabric, you would send me 5 of your best-selling fabrics. And I would basically do a side-by-side comparison of the physical sample on the cylinder, as well as the result that we're getting through the Frontier AI, okay? And depending on the accuracy of how close the number of flares, the bend, shear, linearity would be, we would move forward with the process of basically digitizing at scale through the AI. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how is it different from SETI? SETI
So,
also talks in the similar line, so that's why I'm trying to understand. Is there
yes.
any different signs?
Yes. So the difference from, for example, SETI or any other competitor that is in the industry is obviously the quality of the tiling. So for example, Frontier does offer a really high quality tiling as well as physical properties. Damodaran, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with companies like Shimaseki.
Yeah.
You are familiar?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shimaseki is basically one of the top knit supporting technologies in the world, and we have
Yes,
a
sir.
partner.
Yes.
We have a partnership with Shimaseki because they trust our physical properties to give accurate results every time. Okay,
Sir, ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் கூப்பிடுறேன்.
I'm going to mute.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
somebody please help mute participants who are audible right now because it's interfering with the Q&A session.
Yeah. It is muted.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Damutaran, I'm sorry, getting back to your question about SETI or any other competitors. I think you would have to kind of like see our results for yourself to find out how accurate the physical properties and tiling is. Like I said, we do have a partnership with Shimaseki, which is the top knitwear software in the world based in Japan. And they do trust our physical properties. And I hope that would give you more confidence in our results.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, Mr. Kamach Sundaram online.
Okay. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, very good evening to you, Anushka and Dr. Vijay. Thanks for presenting to us a wonderful tool to digitize the physical fabric into digital fabric. But I'm trying to look at it from an application perspective. I am part of a governmenting company.
Yes.
We are in a vertically integrated organization. When we get the orders from our supplier, from our customers, we get a tech pack. The tech
Yes.
pack has all the details about the fabric, the count to be used, and the material to be used, and the structure to be used, and all the colors and all that. We try to convert the spec in the tech pack to a physical fabric, and then try to make a garment and send the sample of the garment to our customer for them to approve.
Okay.
My question number one is how can your tool help us to shorten the workflow? And the second part of the question is I find this tool more useful to a fabric manufacturer for them to convert their physical samples into digital samples and then use your platform to share their capabilities with the real-time samples to the buyers of the fabric. And the buyers of the fabric would be able to identify, yes, this is the fabric I need. So, this is this is the supplier who can make it. So let me approach them directly. Yeah. And the third part is, as a, maybe as a designer, I want to create a garment with some specific fabric. I do not know what kind of fabric to use. I do not know what kind of design to use. So I have a platform where I have a repository of 12,000 fabric swatches. So I go and look at it, select, and then I source from the respective suppliers. This is how I look at the use of your tool. Is my understanding correct that this is more useful for a brand and a garment merchandise marketer rather than a garmenter who is in between a fabric supplier and a brand?
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your question. I think I will address a certain part of the question and then pass it to Dr. Vijay to answer the rest, because he has a lot of experience, obviously, as a PhD in textiles. So I would love to basically address what you mentioned about the tech pack as well as the designer application, right? So when you mentioned about the tech pack, okay, I just want to make sure that I've understood it correctly. You want to know what the workflow that could be optimized with our technology, given the situation that your client has basically sent you a tech pack with their requirements. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely right.
Okay. So say, for example, a brand requires you to put something into production and has shared all the details via the tech pack with you. Okay. So obviously they would have given you the particular specs of the pattern, the color of the fabric, the composition that they're looking for. Say, for example, 80% cotton, 80% cotton, 20% polyester, for example. Okay. The easiest way for you to source the fabric, okay, and this you can do in real time in a matter of seconds or minutes, by the same way how you would put something in the filter in Google search. You would say you would filter for 80% cotton, 20% polyester, Pantone shade, green, TCX shade, and it would show you all the options that we currently have in the repository, like you mentioned, of that particular fabric, okay? You would then have the data to source from any of those suppliers. So say, for example, Esmitex is based in China versus Arvind Mills that is based in India, and they both have a very similar fabric, but you can basically see all the details online and choose what matches your tech pack most accurately. And all this can be done in a matter of seconds versus going through physical swatches. Like say, for example, you had to find that same green material from different suppliers. You're going to have to send somebody from your team to basically identify the material, look for that particular composition. It's a very time-consuming process, right? Like what I showed you earlier in terms of regular sourcing takes anywhere from 3 to 5 months, whereas real-time sourcing on a digital platform can happen within a matter of seconds. I hope that answers the first part of your question. And if you can, Dr. Vijay, can you please take the second part of the question?
Sir, I think both of the questions are already been taken care by you. What sir concern is there, he has to generate the garment based on the choosing the fabric, and that they has to ask for the fabric from fabric supplier. So in our platform may help them to choose the fabric, and our 3D conversion platform can help them to convert the garment, virtual garment, based on their choice fabric. And then once the sample is approved, perhaps they can ask the manufacturer, yes, this is the fabric and this is the design, and they can get some sample prepared. I think they are facing the difficulty. Who can guide them to do that? I think I'm sure. I think you have something this mind. Correct, sir?
Okay. I think I've got a broad response to my questions. I have one more question about Shimashiki. I've
Yes,
been
sir.
I've been working with Shimashiki for a long time. They were our principals. I was a part of the company which sold, which is selling the Shimaseki flat knitting machines in India. We also used to sell the 3D design software of Shimaseki to Indian companies.
Mhm.
But then tool interfaces with the Shimaseki tool.
Okay.
With the Shimaseki tool, we have a repository of yarn, we have a repository of the design, we have the repository of the structure, we have the repository of the garments, and then we pick and choose and then try to create many samples of the final garments. So Shimaseki provides us a flexibility to change the structure also within the swatch available. For example, I change the loop length or I change the knit structure. Does your software provide all those facilities? If
Sir,
yes, why there is a duplication?
okay, so sir, we are actually not creating the duplication of the function that Shimaseki basically serves. Okay, as you know, Shimaseki has Apex Fizz materials, which enables any permutation and combination of you to basically create an infinite kind of pattern of knitwear, correct? The thing that Shimaseki does not have is because they're creating only from a digital format, they do not have physical properties. So we have integrated with Shimaseki. They are providing the fiber and how the actual structure will look like, and we are providing how the actual Apex Fizz material will drape on a body. So we are providing the physical property part, and they are providing the fabric design part. And that's how we come together and basically provide a joint solution for 3D garment visualization. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anushka.
You're welcome, sir. Should we move on to the next question? If you all don't have any other hands raised, I can go to the questions that Tammy has basically shared with me.
Yeah, better we go to the question and answers.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just give me a second. I'm just accessing it on my phone. Okay. Okay, Raghul 0605 wants to know, I just got to know about this program. I joined midway. Will there be a recording, and when will the next one be held? Okay, I think Mr. Gandhi Raj can basically provide an answer. Sir, are we providing a recording to the audience members?
Yes.
Okay.
It is being recorded. We will give you the recorded version.
Okay.
Let them share the email, their email. Those who want to have the recorded version, let them share their email.
Yes, and I would say also any audience members that would like a more detailed demo from me, or you would want to test your own fabrics and see how they are performing on Frontier's platform, we can arrange for that as well. I think Mr. Kamath Sundar has
Yeah,
another.
Anushka, I have just one more question.
Yes.
In this repository you have created, how many Indian suppliers are there? Because in India we have government restrictions in importing fabric from other part of the world. There are
Yes.
duties and taxes. So our preference is always to buy from the local supplier. Just want
Yes.
to know how many Indian players you have roped in.
We have about 5 to 10 suppliers already. Digitization, as you know, has been adopted by brands internationally like Adidas and Nike. This is not a new concept for them. They have started digitization about 15 years ago. But I would say this technology is still relatively new in the Indian market. And actually, it has been a matter of interest ever since COVID. So I would say post-COVID, the last 2 to 3 years, we've noticed a huge spike in interest and companies that want to implement a digital workflow. But it's still relatively new in India. So we have about 5 to 10 suppliers on board right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I'm just going to continue the questions.
Mr. Balakrishnan is online. Mr. Balakrishnan. Balakrishnan?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
This is Balakrishnan from Tirupur, India.
Hi, Balakrishnan, sir. How are you?
Fine, madam. Your presentation is very useful.
Thank you, sir.
And I have sent you text in question and answer also. I have
Oh,
given my email ID.
okay, sir.
See, actually, this
Yeah.
designing platform, I would like to know whether
Yes.
we can adapt it for digital direct to fabric printing.
Okay, digital direct to fabric printing. Can you explain a little more, sir? Should I just read out your question first?
Yeah.
So you basically mentioned, can this product be used for digital fabric printing? Please share your details. Okay. So sir, I would love to basically schedule a demo with you to really understand what kind of product you're dealing with. But we basically do support a lot of on-demand manufacturing. And from what I'm hearing about digital fabric printing, it is as per the customer trends and requirements, right?
Exactly. Like, see, whatever image or customer design they provide, it can be directly printed on the fabric.
Yes, sir.
And we are selling a product supplied by Epson. You know Epson?
Epson, yeah.
Who is supplying the inkjet printers for the paper.
Yes, sir.
They have product which has direct to fabric printing technology also.
Got it.
So I have almost a client base of 1,000 clients in South India.
Okay.
And out of which at least 10 to 12, leaders branded customers, they would like to get the the assistance from you for creating new designs. So will it be possible?
Okay, sir. So we are not a design-based software. We are basically a fabric digitization software. But what we can do is, like I showed you on the toggle, for example, you want to scale up the design. So say, for example, it's a floral repeat print, but your client wants it bigger or smaller, or they want the background color, instead of it to be blue, they want it to be pink. But you're going to have a starting point of a print, okay? So say, for example, Balakrishna sir, they want to kind of create a block printed fabric, okay? You have to have an initial swatch of a block printed fabric, and you can manipulate it on our platform. I hope that makes sense.
That makes sense for us, because they will create the design.
Yes.
But the fine tuning has to be done by this software. Is it possible?
Yes, sir. It is possible. The fine tuning and manipulation is possible. Creation from scratch is not possible with our software.
Yeah, that's okay. So I have given my email ID.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
we can connect, and it will be very useful for me and my clients.
It'll be my pleasure, sir. I will contact you over email. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You,
thank you, Gandhiraj sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, Induja is online. I think she can join for discussion.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Induja. Thanks for
Hi.
question. Thank you for your attention during the presentation as well. Please
Yeah,
go.
sure. That was an interesting and very useful presentation. And as
I'm
a textile designer, I also gained some knowledge out of it. It's like getting an upgrade and information about textile too. So I'm a Flow 3D. I have not yet started using Flow 3D. I'm just learning now. So I wanted to know how we can like merge Flow 3D and your fabric library.
Yes. So Miss Induja, basically what Frontier does is, through our seamless plugin, you can drag and drop any fabric from the Frontier library into Clo. Okay. If you have been using Clo before, I'm sure you know that they have a limited amount of fabrics in their library. Okay. And the added benefit of the fabrics from the Frontier library is that they are from actual suppliers, right? Because sometimes when the design gets approved in Clo, for example, Miss Sindhuja, like say, for example, a pair of denims were what you created in Clo 3D got approved, okay? But then you have to source for that fabric, right? Because it's not a real fabric. You've just basically created something from a digital fabric. But when you take things from the Frontier library, you're actually sourcing from a real supplier. So your, say, for example, your denim pants that got approved in Clo now have been approved by the client. You go straight to the supplier, tell them, okay, I need 5 meters of this fabric, and then you get the garment actually produced in reality.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what I'm looking for is an exact demo in Flow 3D. How I can. So, is there any plugin in name of Frontier.cool which I have to download, install in Flow 3D?
Okay. Actually, let me share my screen really quickly for this question. Okay, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
So, can you see my screen? Is it showing
Yeah, it's visible.
it shows the platform, right? Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, Induja, basically for Clo, right? The seamless plugin or the format that is compatible is GLTF. Okay. So say
Okay.
you wanted to create with this particular fabric, the green knit fabric on your screen, you just download the GLTF. Okay. And once it's downloaded on your laptop or any device that you're using, just drag and drop it to Clo. And then you can start creating with this green fabric. The same thing with any fabric in the library, okay? Whichever fabric you like, just download the GLTF of that particular fabric, okay? So and there's a very easy way of basically filtering the fabric with 3D material, right? All the fabrics that you see on screen right now have a GLTF file associated with it. So you simply go and you basically download the 3D material in GLTF and drag and drop it to Clo. So that's the seamless plugin. As soon as you drag and drop it to Clo, you can design with that particular fabric in Clo. Okay.
Drag in and drop it in the sense I have to keep this website alongside the Clo 3D software and
No,
then
no,
from the website.
no. The file that you downloaded will be on your desktop, right? You just put that into Clo. Yeah.
All right, in the 3D window of Clo.
Yeah, and if you want a detailed demo, Ms. Induja, let's connect offline, and I will show you exactly with the Clo technology how you can create. Okay.
Sure, that will be helpful. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I had another question regarding that the scaling which you showed.
Yes.
Demo of scaling. So, what's the exact purpose of scaling? For me, it looks like a zoom in and zoom out option of to have a closer look of the fabric construction.
Yeah, so basically scaling is the scale option is just for your client to visualize. If you created that print in a bigger scale versus a smaller scale, what would it look like in a t-shirt format? Sometimes when the print is very big, it doesn't look very good on a t-shirt, right? Because a t-shirt is a small garment. But maybe if it was on a dress, it would look different. So the scale up or the scale down option is to basically help you visualize the end product better. Does that make
you
sense?
mean the size of the motif itself?
Yes,
Since it
the
was
size of the size of the motif for the brand. Yeah.
Since it was shown in a plain fabric, I couldn't exactly understand it. Now I understand when you explained the motif. Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
So we have Jayanti Balraj. I don't know whether she's one more.
Yeah.
More attendee
Miss
online.
Balraj, is it Jayanti?
Jayanti Balraj. I think.
Do you have a question?
She's muted. She's muted, Gandhiraj.
Yeah, she is muted. I am asking her to unmute, but he's not responding. Okay, we can go ahead with that. I think we can proceed. If you have any question from the chart, you answer it. Otherwise, we will request Mr. Gandhimadhan to sum up the session.
Okay. Okay. We have a question from TS. Need a recording version. Sure, we will provide that. No worries. Shruti Kirti. Can you please share the link of the same? What's the difference between Clo 3D and this AI? Okay, Shruti, the main difference between Clo 3D and this AI is Clo is a fabric. It's a garment visualization design software where it's basically focusing on the fashion design aspect. This is on the fabric sourcing aspect. So we are completely focused just on the material digitization aspect. Whereas Clo is more focused on the design aspect. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, the Department of Textile Technology, PSGCT, says, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Is it possible to digitize the yarn parameters? Okay, thank you for this question. Right now, we are very focused on just fabric and not the yarn level. But in our future roadmap, we are actually getting a lot of like the requests to go down to the yarn level. So it will be definitely something that we will release maybe next year or very, very soon. I will keep you all updated. If you can provide me an email address and we have a product feature release on yarns, I will definitely contact you. Thank you. And we have another question from an anonymous person. This is an interesting technology, but isn't it true that we will get to know more about the fabric sample when we come into physical contact with the fabric rather than the digital one? I want to thank the anonymous person for basically asking this question. It's a very interesting question. We kind of get this all the time, right? So this is a question I would say, like say, for example, we're talking on a digital platform right now for this webinar. Of course, an in-person webinar would have been more effective, but the main thing is the communication of this information in real time and the responsiveness, right? When it comes to physical sampling, we are not claiming to eliminate physical sampling altogether, but we are claiming to reduce the physical sampling by a large degree, right? So say, for example, the white cotton shirt that Dr. Vijay is wearing, right? Instead of sharing just one sample where all the different color iterations can just be communicated through the digital format, you don't have to send 100 colors of the same fabric. You just send one color of the physical sample, let the client see the touch and feel, and then you communicate all the other colors digitally. This will enable you to respond to the client in a much shorter period of time. They don't have to wait, and you can basically get feedback for them in real time, right? Like if the client does not like this option at all, you can suggest 5 other options, you can share it with a single collaboration link, and then whichever option they are interested absolutely to get a physical sample, you send that physical sample to them. You don't have to send all the physical sample. So what we're claiming over here is not an elimination of physical sampling, but a major reduction of physical sampling and time and cost, obviously.
Very well answered, Anushka.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Mr.
I think questions are closed.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. I need one input from you to this academic institutes, and their institutes are there. So once academic institutes subscribe Frontier.cool's platform, okay, and we say the students will have the free access. So we'd like to know student perspective point of view, because some questions came to me on the WhatsApp from the student, perhaps they may be knowing me. What will the benefit to them? How they will work? What institute will get from Frontier.cool? And how student will access it, because some of them would like to go for the project and all.
Okay, I'm just going to like speak to the audience like I'm speaking to a student right now. Okay, as you know, students are very well informed of the latest technology, which is really, really good, because the standard in the industry is completely changing. You know, technology changes so fast. Yesterday, nobody was talking about AI. Ever since ChatGPT came out, everybody's only talking about AI. Till last year, nobody believed that AI can basically solve problems. Today, everybody is like trusting AI with their homework, with their presentations, with their, you know, journalism publications. So technology changes all the time, you know, and I think as contributors to the economy and, you know, very ambitious career-focused individuals, we should obviously not rely on technology completely. We should rely on our intelligence. We should rely on the foundation information that we have, but we can also use the power of technology to scale, do things very quickly. And this way we can really kind of like concentrate on the creative part of problem solving, right? We don't have to do all the manual kind of like run-of-the-mill kind of operations all the time. We can focus on like creativity and productivity and, you know, let the technology handle the rest. So I would say the use cases for students, it's really unlimited, sir. Like I mentioned, once you have access to digital materials, you can just take it to Clo3D or Browseware. And this is like when I was a designer, I had to go to the store, source the fabric, buy the materials, spend my money when I was like not even earning money as a student, and create the garments. And sometimes because I was not an experienced designer, I would create a rubbish design, you know. But this digital format allows you to take the digital material, you create whatever you want. Maybe you create 10, 20 iterations and just choose one which you really, really like, and then go ahead and spend your money to buy that fabric and go into production. Okay, so I would say this is just one of the benefits as a student. But I think with this the metaverse coming up, and there are right now in the US and the UK, we have completely digital fashion shows. This is not a thing of the future. Prada, Tommy Hilfiger, Adidas, Nike are all displaying their entire product line just in a digital format. So if the students are going to be the future entrepreneurs, they're going to be the future workforce, they will find a lot of benefits working with this technology. And of course, if any of the institutes are interested in a very detailed digitization workshop, we can also organize it for them. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anushka.
Thank you. I think we are close to the 5 p.m. mark, and I have to thank all of you all for your incredible interest over the last two hours. I'm glad that you all are so enthusiastic and have so many questions, and I will pass it over to the TIE organization for the closing remarks. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Really
now,
very useful
I think
presentation.
Gandhi can take some of the session and give out of times.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Vijay,
Yes.
Chairman of TIE Mumbai Unit. Good evening to Gandhiraj, Vice Chairman of Central Office TIE. Good evening to our Secretary, Coimbatore Unit TIE, Mr. Sivakumar, Vice President, Mr. Srinivasagam, academic experts, and speaker of today's session, Anushka Madam. Good evening to all of you. See, actually, everybody is talking about AI today. In the world around us, everybody talks about AI. So it is a theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally requiring human brain. Human brain job is taken up by the computers now. So where it is being used, AI is where it is being used. One is the healthcare industry. It is being used to develop new drugs formulation. And finance is being used to detect fraud. You know very well how it is being able to detect frauds. Manufacturing, in the manufacturing, AI is being used to automate tasks, optimize production, and to improve quality control. One good example in spinning industry is individual spindle monitoring system, which uses AI technology. And retail, it is being used to personalize recommendations, optimize inventory, and combat fraud. You know very well Amazon. Amazon is a personalized recommendation. It's a retail example. Transportation in this area, AI is being used to develop self-driving cars, optimize traffic flow, and predict demand. So now, what are the benefits of this artificial intelligence? One is the quick decision making, fast decision making, improved decision making, deeper insights on anything what you deal, and automation, shorter travel time, like a Google Maps is an example, elimination of human error. Now, today we have a wonderful session by Ms. Anushka and supported by Dr. Vijay. She explained, rather elaborated in simple terms, how AI has revolutionized fabric sampling and its appeal on garments. She also explained how 3D digitization helps to save the textile industry on solving the challenges in physical sampling, absence of need of large warehouses and traceability systems, less time to produce samples, less time to transport sample models or garment models, fabric appeal with the drape, colors, etc., which is unimaginable in physical samples. In spite of all this, the most interesting part is sustainability here. So she told this system talks about environmental impact methods also, measures also. And it improves commodity between brands and suppliers. And it helps on lean workflow and global colorization acceleration. Digitally created end products and garments are made possible. During the interaction with the participants, she also expressed her immediate support for joint projects with industries as well as academic experts and academic institutions. We really welcome on that. Thank you very much, Anushka and all others. Thank you.